Hey peeps, and welcome back to Snail TV. Sorry, I've got a bit of noise happening in the background. Got a few things happening with the inside the booth and stuff. I'll just turn you around. I'll show you. I've got most of the ECU and stuff like that mounted, and I'll show you what I've been doing with it. Alright, as you can see, I've got all the Porsche, all center console and stuff out. I'll tell you why in a minute, but as you can see, the fueltech is actually mounted. I've actually taken out the cluster and actually put it inside there. I think it was probably the better option. The only thing I was thinking about was the way to start this thing. Obviously, I do know that I have a key, but it's that thing where, like, I do like the whole like fueltech can do it on touch, and they have control of it, and that's the way I always actually do wire them up with that, because then I can actually start them up via the laptop and whatnot. But so the whole thing about the reason why the center console is removed is because I wanted to mount the little wideband nanos, the little fueltech nano. This is a touchscreen, and we can put a couple of buttons on there. I normally put the start button on that, and you can put gauges and whatnot, all the stuff on there, but I like just to keep a couple of buttons on there. Anyway, the reason why obviously I've got the center console out is so I can mount that to inside the center console. Now I'll just take you into the booth. I'll just turn the booth off. Give me a second. Alright, I'll take you into the booth and have a look. So what I've done is actually I've gotten rid of the old handbrake. So I'm not going to have the manual handbrake in here anymore. So the reason why, as you can see, where it sort of, that there, this was all divoted down, and yeah, you could, yeah, it was a lot different. Obviously the handbrake come here, and everything was different. So what I've done is actually fiberglassed that to suit all nice and flat up, and I'm actually going to have the wideband nano right in the center facing me, of course. But yeah, I thought that'd be the easiest way, well, not easiest, but the nicest way to make something look good. All I've got to do now is give it a quick prime, and then we can just give it a matte black or something like that finish. So yeah, that's a lot better now. Alright peeps, well, I thought I would show you my messy side. This Porsche literally tried to beat me all day. Wow. Anything I tried to do to it, it fighted back 20 times as hard. Everything is all Torx bit screws, of course, and everything is just too tight to do up with the bloody Allen key, but not tight enough to do with a little driver. Oh, absolute shocking. Tried to do one thing, another thing here happened, and to get one thing out, you have to take out another 25 things. All I was going to do, alright, so I'll take you through it just a little bit, but all I really wanted to do was get the fueltech in place, alright, so to get the fueltech in place, and just to, just start it, just put it in there, see where I could mount it quickly, and, something I thought that, was going to be so simple, but it turns out, that this Porsche, yeah, like, I reckon I've spent a good, I don't know, 15, 16 hours on it, of just doing the fueltech. Look, it turned into a lot of things, I tend to go to do one thing and go off that and do another thing. I do that lots of times, but look, what it was all about was, as I said, putting the fueltech in. So to put the fueltech in, I obviously had to mount the wideband nano, and I didn't have a place for that yet as such. Now I do want to use it as a touchscreen. I do like that capability of what it can actually do, and but yeah, I thought of a beautiful place right in the center console, and look, the center console bit there still had like an existing ashtray. Obviously, I wanted to get rid of the ashtray and the cigarette lighter. You know, it's a bit disgusting, and wanted to get rid of that stuff from the Porsche. So I went to mount it in there, and I thought, look, I can sort of, you know, do a couple of little cuts and shut, and it's just not going to look good. But then I forgot that the handbrake was there as well. And I have cut off the handbrake cables off the back because it's going to be a totally different system. So that led to something else. So that led to me going, what about if I delete the handbrake and I'll go like electric handbrake? I can control that from the fueltech. One thing led to another. There I am taking the handbrake out. So yeah. Take the handbrake out. Now I've actually got a handbrake like in the center console, still like, you know, where it should be a handbrake. Obviously I didn't like that, so I thought, you know what, that's it. Console's coming out. I'll fiberglass up the center of it, and just for now, I'll just quickly give it some black paint, just for now. Later on, I do want to take it down. I want to actually get it covered in some nice stuff. But as I said, I really just want to get this thing, you know, just little bits and pieces all happening, you know. And yeah, so look, I'll turn you around. I've got it, all right. So I've got it in there, but I'll turn you around. This is, you know, hours and hours and hours of doing this. Okay. As I said, hence the mess on the floor, because right now I ain't picking shit up. All right, turn you around. All right, I'll get the torch on you here, guys, so you can actually see it properly. All right. So as you can see, I've got the fueltech in. All right. So I actually took off the whole cluster, and I think it looks mint in there. Later on, as I said, I do want to upgrade to the bigger ECU, and so you know, look. But this is good enough right now. I love the whole Porsche. It's actually got a cover on top as such. It's only a mesh grille, so it looks like a bit of a speaker. But yeah, it actually just, you know, a lot of cover there. So, and it does actually make it look you know, still somewhat very classy. All right, and now this is the whole thing of why it took me so long. Alright, as you can see, I've got the wideband nano in there. Alright, and I've gotten rid of the whole handbrake. Handbrake's gone, the cutout's gone, this is all fiberglass. This is all, yeah, I literally did this in a couple of hours. Alright, just still somewhat of a, you know, I didn't do it 100%, you know, but it's still somewhat of clues as there was a handbrake there. Now I'll show you my little, you know, little hiccups. I'll show you. Turn the torch on. Alright, so as you can see, it's fiberglass inside there. Alright, so that's how low it was before on this part. So it was all dug out, and because I see that's where the handbrake was, and actually went right down. Okay, so I had to build this whole side up, and this side here was level like that, so that was the original side. But then it went here, and it obviously had an ashtray here, had all this ugly shit, and then stepped down, and I obviously didn't like that, because I thought I'll just get rid of it, and I'll just yeah, I'll put a electric handbrake in it. Probably one of the last things I do, you know. It is automatic, so can keep it in gear. But yeah, so obviously we are a bit low on the battery, but yeah, I got to put it on charge in a second. And yeah, everything is all good. Super happy. All right, so just some in counters that I had in this whole region of doing this. It turns out that obviously I've taken out the old ECU and obviously the old cluster and all that stuff. Obviously everything integrates, everything all controls everything, and yeah, I really just want the fueltech ECU just to control the whole car. Obviously because we are putting a Honda engine and gearbox in it, but unfortunately As I said, it kind of integrates with everything the old one did. It has quite a bit of harness, and the old ECU controlled a lot of things. So first things first, obviously when I took out everything and went to hook everything back up, for some reason I couldn't get it out of gear, and or out of park or anything like that. So that there caused a massive havoc of even trying to get this center console out, because it should have to be in like neutral for all the cluster to come out nice and easy. So I'm very lucky, but I almost snapped half of it because I had no way of getting it out nicely. Because as I said, I couldn't move the shifter for some reason, and I don't know why. So, but anyway, so obviously because when I took out the whole shifter and all the center console and whatnot, I've wired up these these auto boxes and stuff like that, or auto boxes for ages, and shifters and stuff. So I do know how they work. And pretty much all there is a little tiny solenoid on the inside there. When you hit the brake, then the solenoid opens up, and you can now obviously select into reverse, and then put into neutral and drive, and then it will lock out again, so you can't automatically just switch it into reverse. It's just pretty much all autos have it. It's just a lockout safety thing. And but yeah, as I said, I didn't have it. So when removing all this, I then had to work out that. So this is the same time, don't forget, that I'm just trying to put power and earth to the ECU just to turn it on, so then I could have it on. But I needed the wideband bit to hook up, so then I could run the wires properly. So that just caused another havoc again. Obviously then then I had to hook up the brake switch to that, and then at the same time I need to hook up brake to the ECU, because it needs brake when we're on auto gearbox. Then fast forwarding again, then it's just like, alright, look, what else do we have to control here? And this car has, as I said, a real nice steering wheel with fresh new paddle shifters in it. So, and they've never actually been hooked up because, obviously the previous build didn't go through. So, yeah, I had to try to figure that out. And that was another chaotic thing. So, that was another probably 2 hours of just working it out. Got it. All good, no worries at all. Go back through. And then it's like, look, my accelerator pedals down there. It is electric throttle. I've never wired, obviously, a Porsche one up. I had a fueltech in this thing originally from the previous customer, but pretty easy when you've got a pin out in the from the ECU. But this is wiring it up from straight, putting power to it, 5 volts, putting earth, and also putting 2 sensor wires to it from the fueltech. So the fueltech controls, from the pedal controls everything. So yeah, so then trying to look up a diagram, and I thought it was a Bosch pedal, but turns out it wasn't. Look, I tried multiple diagrams, and actually finally got it, which is awesome. So I actually have throttle now, so that's all hooked up. I've hooked up some wires at the front, because that's where my fan control. So my fans and fuel pump is at the front. So I've put a couple of outputs out there for them to control, and also fuel sensor. So they're out there ready to go. And then obviously I just tied up the lumen and put it into the back, sort of thing, and just get it sort of ready. So yeah, after all that, obviously had to fiberglass the center console, paint it, put it all back in, and that's been pretty much my last 2 days. And look, it's done. Oh, it was an absolute nightmare. Full on this Porsche. But look, I give it to Porsche, and just German engineering and quality is everything literally goes back in exactly the same way that when you take it out, like it will clip in and it will just hold it. Like I've taken that many cars out, and it's just, yeah, it's crazy of how many times you just pop a panel off and you go to put it back in, and there's always that slight gap or that sort of, nothing's ever, 100% perfect there. But yeah, look, I hand it to Porsche that they, their quality of everything. Well, that and how hard it is getting under the dash, and wow, there is like no room. But look, it's what it is. It's done. I'm super happy. I'm super excited. I've got all that working. Obviously, dash is in now, so the fueltech's in, yeah, obviously I got the shifter all happening. I've got the wideband nano happening. Yeah, the throttle, the accelerator paddle shifters. I haven't done the fan and the fuel pump yet, but I'll get onto them when I can. But as I said, I just wanted to get it in there because I received the ECU. You guys see in the last video, I received the ECU, and I just wanted to get it in. And obviously, I just wanted to make sure it just looked good. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'll just turn you around quickly around again. I'll just have a little quick look, and yeah, we'll finish the video off. So from my driving spot, guys, that's literally what I can see, and what not of everything. Alright, so as you can see, what the fueltech, you guys, if you don't never seen a fueltech work, then you just need to go buy one or hit me up, and we can sort something out. But they are amazing, ECU and dash all in one, and yeah, look, they absolutely amazing. Can't say enough about them. As I said though, with the wideband, obviously it does something. This is not just a little tiny mini screen for things just to look good, but this is actually controlling the O2 sensor. Alright, so it is actually like a mini module for that. And yeah, at the same time, they've put like a little screen onto it, and you can actually go to menus. You can display, dash configurations. We can have up to 5 dashes. Alright, but we're only doing 2. And you can do whatever one you want. So up top here now, I can, let's go, we'll put wideband meter up there. Alright. And gauge size, it will tell you how big gauge size you're going to do. I said it's hard doing it like this. You're doing it all normally on the laptop. But, we can have it as green. And save it. Exit. There you go. Obviously, the O2 sensor is disconnected, so it ain't going to display anything up at the top. But that there would normally display. Well, right now it's, there's going to be no fuel obviously in the exhaust, so it'll be lean as anything. And it might be actually coming up as error, or if not, just going to the highest number it's got there. But yeah, as I said, it just makes this bit look a lot nicer. And as I said, I will actually recover that up in the same nice stuff that we've got everywhere in the car. So real happy. Look, on the last video, I actually was going to make a quick little video of, I was actually thinking about putting it in where the CD player is, and but I'm real happy that I've actually put it there instead now. Only just because most of the stuff on the old cluster, obviously, I had engine lights up and whatnot. There was a buzzing bell thing going off at all times because, it's not getting proper inputs and stuff like that. It just probably would have been a lot too much hard just getting that thing to work properly. But super happy with how it's going right now, and I will be on this thing ASAP very, very soon. So keep a lookout. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you, peeps.